Man.
I'm doing great. I got a full night's sleep last night, which is like that's a big deal for me. So I'm feeling real good.
Man, that's actually just depressing. That's a really big
deal.
So
it is, dude.
Oh, I mean, glad to have you here, obviously, and of course our statsman today, as we've had statsman the entire season. But joining us today is going to be Knoxville, and pleasure having him as well along for the ride. Again, this is a best of 5 series, and this is probably going to be a bit of a closer series than we originally anticipated at the start of the season. I think you and I thought that, obviously, Sneaky Nyx Assassins were a solid team, but Navi US probably the favorites. But with the roster changes coming out and Sneaky Nyx Assassins playing the way they are, Navi US might have a bit of a tough time here in this series.
Yeah, Sneaky Nyx Assassins have been playing better than I expected, to be honest. And that's not a slight at them, but they're just playing extremely well. So Navi US, like you mentioned, with the sort of roster troubles and changes, have not really had a stable lineup. So we'll find out. They've got their core 3, Korok, Fogged, and Snake King. Excalibur actually going to be standing in, and Ragnarok is Navi US's
turn to I'm very excited to see Excalibur. We saw him kind of just wreck faces at the summit back when that was happening about last year in the middle of spring for Fnatic, and a very solid player. I was very surprised to see him not really get picked up by anybody, but here he is. And this is going to be a really interesting laning assignment for Navi US. We don't really know who's going where just yet anyways, so I'm excited to see what happens here for the draft. Brewmaster picked up for Sneaky Nyx Assassins, and very excited to see this one play out. Again, TC very strong on the Brew. Should be his hero, and then Ush more than likely going to be your hard carry player for Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
That's sort of how things have been rolling for them recently, and Navi US are going to opt to pick up the Terrorblade here, and well, I mean, there's some really, really good things about Terrorblade. If the game goes late, he's unbelievable. If he gets any sort of space in the beginning of the game, he's unbelievable. But the downside is just his lack of HP, lack of mobility. He's very easy to kill in lane, and things like that. So it's sort of just like just a really classic hard carry. He farms extremely hard. He's very easy to kill in the early game. His laning is not that good, although with Metamorphosis you can sometimes get kills if you've got a pretty strong tri-lane or something like that.
I agree with that completely. And the thing that interests me is who's going to play it. We've seen Excalibur play a lot of farming heroes, Korok same, and Snaking as well. They have 3 people that can play this Terrorblade, and I don't think they've picked it enough for me to understand or to know who's going to be playing this hero. And I'm surprised they first picked it as well, because we've often talked about how squishy this hero is in lane and how you could just kind of shut him down early on if you put some pressure up against him. Obviously, you have to be afraid of Metamorphosis like you were talking about, but I'm excited. I don't know what they're going to pair with this with, and I don't know who they're going to have play this, but this is a solid pickup at the first, pick phase here.
So there's sort of 2 options when you have the Terrorblade. You can try to solo lane him, which is usually not advised, and like aggro try to take the pressure off him that way. Or you can do this, pair it up with a really strong support at just keeping heroes alive, and Dazzle is definitely one of those. Obviously with Shallow Grave and Shadow Wave, he's got a good tool set to keep Terrorblade in the lane, keep him farming, and I mean, I think this is a good option. I don't remember if this was the team that we saw do this, but I remember right when the patch came out, a team solo lane the Terrorblade and just lost because it was
10 seconds.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was teams.
I don't think it was not the US.
I think it was like not today. Like
yeah, it was, because I remember Evo getting just absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, he just got owned.
This is definitely not the best landing assignment, I think, coming out from not today, and part of the reasons why they went down in that series. But yeah, I want to talk about something real quick, and this is a bit personal, but my brother was talking to me. He's like, yeah, listen, you just pick Terrorblade and I'll pick Dazzle. That's a really good support combo. I'm like, listen, Dazzle's okay. I just don't think, getting your center off is that important. And I just was telling my brother this, and I have to admit he was right.
Someone while under Shallow Grave and just immediately kill them?
Yeah.
Well, that's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. Well, you can only down to the minimum is 15%, but still, I mean, he was right. It is a decent combo, and I'm excited. Meanwhile, Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they pick up probably a support Miranda here. Ush can play the farming run. I mean, it's not a huge shocker if they do pick that up for him, but
I think it's more than likely fluff and stuff Miranda.
Yeah.
But some extra information here. Navi US have not drafted Terrorblade yet, so this is going to be their first game on record with it, and we'll see how it goes for them. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting because I don't really imagine Terrorblade fitting into any of these players. I guess it's an okay snaking hero. I was gonna say I don't really see it going, like working for any of their players.
I guess
it's a snaking hero. I mean,
This is what he does. So it's just like you sit back, you farm for 20 minutes, and then you come out of the jungle and you're just like, well, I'm gonna kill you now. And he wants to be aggressive early on too, and you certainly can be with Terrorblade. If they have a chance to get kills with snaking, you can imagine that he'll be involved. If it is a snaking hero, then you maybe send.
I think it has to be like Korok's not playing that hero.
No, definitely not.
I mean, we don't really know what Excalibur is going to be doing this game.
I think he's going to mid, and they're going to send Korok offlane. I just think
that seems like the most reasonable thing. I think Excalibur is much less flexible than Korok, just given the amount of experience he has in pro scene. So I would agree with that as well.
I think you may need to turn your microphone on in game Dota.
Seconds remaining.
Is it fixed?
Everyone just relax.
Everyone just yelled at you, just remaining. Like, come on, man, get it together.
Messages.
Yeah. Well.
Good.
Reserve.
Listen, when something needs to get fixed, you got to fix it. So that's a note. All right, I'm done. That's.
How about you just control the camera for the rest of this cast?
Okay. All right. That's not necessary. I'm being flamed, everybody. In the middle of the second ban phase here, Centaur comes out. That makes sense. That's a Korok hero.
Well, you know, we didn't really talk about the first ban phase that much, but Razor DP, extremely standard bans.
Radiant team
Razor, one of TC's strongest heroes. Death Prophet, one of Ush's strongest heroes. On the other side, Sneaking Assassin's ban out the Skywrath Mage, which is, and I quote, the only hero that Fogged plays. He has told me that.
It is, though. It's true.
I mean, if you look, he has played just an unbelievable number of Skywrath Mage games. I'm sure probably a bit more than most people, and
more than Bobo,
that's banned out. I mean, he generally likes heroes that can get solo kills or be extremely involved in team fights, do a lot of damage. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dazzle was maybe Ragnarok's hero. Although, I mean, Fogged has played Dazzle a bit during the NA qualifiers. He played it a lot.
Yeah.
But I think normally he likes to play a bit more aggressive.
There's a possibility.
Yeah, there's a chance, but I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if there's like a Sand King or something. That's Fogg's hero.
Well, we're gonna find out. I mean, that also, we haven't seen a Fog Sand King in some time. He's played Earthshaker here and there, but
yeah, he's played Earthshaker. He's played, of course, Skywrath Mage, but Tidehunter's pick up here. So pretty straightforward offlaner. The lane assignments look pretty simple for Navi US thus far. And with Terrorblade, I think you're sort of forced into just a really traditional defensive tri-lane. So I don't expect that to change. So, I mean, that brings us to the point, are Sneaking Assassin's going to try to challenge this? And I think there's a chance here. They pick up the Bane, so that definitely could be the makings of an aggressive tri-lane to try to disrupt whatever Navi US is doing, which in this game is just farming the Terrorblade. And I'm kind of interested by this. They ban out the Shadow Demon, which is another hero that Navi US play quite a bit. Obviously a very good Mirana pair, but Bane is acceptable.
Shadow Demon with Terrorblade on your team is disgusting, and even on the opposite team is pretty gross. If you disrupt Terrorblade, he just dies to his illusions, or if you disrupt Terrorblade and he's on your team, that tower's going to fall instantly. Remaining. It's just kind of ridiculous, so I'm really excited for the drafts coming out right now. I think Sneaking Assassins have to put a lot of pressure with this Bane Mirana on the Terrorblade and try to get some early kills. Navi US are going to try to create a lot of space using the Tidehunter Ravage, but with Brewmaster it's very difficult to deal with. And you see they get rid of the Skywrath Mage first for Sneaking Assassins like you talked about. Very good against the Brew. And for Navi US, this could be an interesting draft for them. I mean, I like the Terrorblade choice, but I don't know.
They just need some heroes that can make some space.
Exactly.
I think the mid hero, I'm kind of interested to see what Excalibur is going to be doing this game. Obviously, Tinker is pretty much unplayable, which is probably Excalibur's best hero. And Abaddon going to be picked up here for Navi US as well. So they're pretty all in on this defend Terrorblade strategy. Abaddon, another hero that's very good at keeping other heroes alive. So I have to imagine that they're just going to be doing everything they can to farm the Terrorblade, which is honestly, I think, the right thing to do when you have a Terrorblade on your team. You have to go all in on just keeping him alive because he is a hero that's so powerful, he can just take over the game if he has the option.
He's one of the latest game carries if you can get to that point, so I'm excited to see if they can get him farmed up enough to have him have a big impact in the game. And Abaddon certainly is very interesting. Like you said, they want to keep him alive. Darkseer is the next pickup coming out, and that's somebody that works really well against Terrorblade with the Wall of Replica. But locking him down is kind of difficult with the Darkseer, and he's kind of susceptible to ganks, but there's no lockdown, so Darkseer is a perfect choice in this lane, in the off lane. So they have 0 stuns, 0 disables, with the exception of Tidehunter's Ravage. That's it, man. That's all they've got going for Navi US right now.
I think this is if this is going to indeed be an aggressive trial for Sneaking Assassins, Darkseer also pairs up fairly well against Tidehunter, just because Ion Shell can be a little annoying. Anchor Smash he can sort of just use to kill the creep wave pretty quickly, but he is going to take a decent amount of damage from the Ion Shell. I think Darkseer versus Tidehunter shouldn't be too bad for the Darkseer. So if this is going to be an aggro try, it's not clear yet, but Sven is banned out, so Navi US I think are afraid of an aggro tri lane. That would definitely be one of those heroes that would be sitting in that spot.
Yeah. It's actually just gross to deal with at that point, but 23 seconds left in reserve time now. Coming out for Sneaky Nick's Assassins. Very long draft, man. They're taking forever. Best of 5 series. You gotta get this moving, guys. Come on. Let's go. But
you already missed the football. It's okay.
No, I know. I'm just...
Viper banned out here. I think that's a safe ban. You're in an unknown spot here. You don't really know what Excalibur is going to be playing. Viper is just a good mid hero that can create space for Terrorblade, so I think that's a very smart ban. Just standard.
Well, I like the choice. I mean, Viper could just destroy anybody at any given time, so I think this is the optimal choice coming out from Navi.
Although, you know, I have to say, I think it was in WCA. There was a Brewmaster versus Viper, which sounds like a really lopsided matchup for the Viper, but Brewmaster got drunk nays at level 2, and it was the most disgusting stomp I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, that'll happen. Navi US pick up the Enigma. Off lane? No, mid? Wait, what is going on here?
This could be a mid Tidehunter against the Brewmaster.
Yeah.
That's fairly okay. And then they just have the Enigma in the off lane.
Who is Excalibur playing? That's the real question.
I mean, I think in this lineup it almost has to be the Tidehunter. I mean, Enigma middle is okay, but Clap is very good against the Eidolons, so
can't mid Enigma, I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think that would
maybe
really
like a mid Abaddon.
Tidehunter middle is pretty legit against melee heroes. Anchor Smash
is really good.
I mean, it's a 1v1 melee versus melee.
You can say the same thing about Brewmaster though, and having Clap against a melee hero, but
yeah, but he just Tidehunter usually is gonna get the better.
5 seconds remaining.
It's gonna be interesting. Sneaky Nick's Assassins, 2 seconds left reserve time. They pick the Naga Siren.
Oh boy!
And that's gonna be what seems to be a core Naga played by Ush. An interesting draft to start things off here in game number 1. Kind of crazy, honestly. And
Korok on Enigma.
Yeah, I did not expect that. Excalibur's playing the Terrorblade, and that means that it's going to be staking on the Tidehunter.
All right, well.
Yeah, listen.
We'll see how this works. Maybe they like dual lane middle with Terrorblade or something? I have no idea.
Maybe. It could happen. If they send Terrorblade against Brewmaster, they're just going to have a rough time. If it's Ush, maybe they'll be okay. But even still, like... Not the
then we have to decide, you know.
I don't think it's Terrorblade middle. I think Excalibur's going to play this in the safe lane, and they'll send Snaking mid on the Tidehunter, and then Korok and, like, I don't know, off lane Enigma? Yeah, that sounds about right. That makes more sense than anything else.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being anywhere else. They have to decide where they think the Brew is going to be. Given the lack of pressure from Navi US, I think this is a good game for a mid Naga Siren. And the biggest, obviously, you just want to secure farms, secure levels, and Naga can definitely do that.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes.
IX Mike with the Union Gaming disconnect.
Nice. Good start. Mike, come on, buddy. I know you're watching Smash, but we have to get in the game here. But I think not many people were expecting this draft from Navi US. This is a very standard draft for Nyx Assassins. This is all the heroes they really want to play, other than IX Mike playing the Darkseer, which we don't see too often.
Darkseer in general has not been very popular in this patch. This is only the 4th time he's been picked, so...
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. I'm gonna just check something real quick. Gotta pop it over to the AFK screen.
Boy.
My apologies, everybody. And boom, we're good to go. Sorry about that. Had to switch something up, but we didn't miss anything. Good news, everybody. Nothing's going on, so... Right now...
Yeah, still pause. They're playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's actually just Fluff playing by himself, so... Or Whitebeard, rather. So that's been unfortunate.
That's actually... I can't play with him. I would if I could, man, but... I don't see my map drawings. Ragnarok, this was... Who... I can't remember who the name of Ragnarok was. Like, they oh, you are playing?
Alright, I can't do it.
Alright, this is actually
Why did you just do an O?
I was drawing for you.
I was O's, dude.
I know, but you put one there and I was just trying to refresh it.
Alright, whatever.
Okay, I can't handle this anymore. We gotta start the game, team. Remember, guys, this is a best-of-5 series, and I want to welcome in everybody that's just joining us. Sneaky Nick's Assassins versus Navi US. Best-of-5 series, game number 1 about to get underway. Very excited to bring you the action. And
well, I mean, I suppose we should point out here the elephant in the room is that we have a Terrorblade versus a Naga.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of farming going on this game.
50-minute game, maybe. We'll see.
I mean, I would not be surprised
with the way this patch has gone. And some people are a big fan of the way the games have been going. Like yesterday, Power Rangers versus Team Tinker was a great game. Game 2.
That was crazy, though.
That was a lot of fun. And you know, I talked to K-Pop about this the other day, yesterday even. He's not been a big fan of 6.82b. He says this is the worst meta in Dota history. I will disagree with him. This is made for some great games, but there's still this just disagreement about how, you know, the early game doesn't matter. The comeback potential is still really strong, and there's still just too many long farming games. And I don't know. You know, honestly, the way that these games have shaped up, there still is a lot of really action. And even though it maybe isn't as big of a deal as winning the early game anymore, it's still, I think, very important to have a good snowballing chance. So,
well, it looks like Snaking is probably going to be the offlane player here. So, interesting assignments here. I mean, I think Navi US are still settling in. You also have to remember that they do have a LAN coming up, so their roster for that is unconfirmed.
Yeah, it's not. Seeking Success are going to the same LAN, though, but
they're going to the same LAN, but they have a roster.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I've heard some whispers about what their lineup might be, but I'm not sure. I mean, that is something that I'm sure they're keeping in mind at this point. Of course, this match is for $1,000 difference, so
the battle begins.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. It's not really something you want to give away just to try to get a slight advantage a little bit later. So
no, I mean,
$4,000 the total prize pool for this season, $2,500 for first.
I don't think you could save strats anymore, even if you're right before ESL New York. There's just too many big tournaments that are I think, too important to just kind of let
lose. This is actually going to be a dual lane mid Enigma.
I was not expecting this.
Well, Abaddon's not really like... Usually he doesn't really settle into a lane that much. He kind of just goes wherever someone needs like saving, basically, or needs help. So we'll see where he settles in. Osh is going to be the other mid laner here. And that is going to be fairly annoying versus Eidolons, but they do have a decent amount of HP, so it shouldn't be too bad.
This is not something I was expecting. Arrow combo, Excalibur getting caught out in the top lane right now. He's going to get Shadow Wave, but no Grave coming through. The full duration stun coming out, and Fluff and Stuff gets the kill. The Arrow combo with the Nightmare. Just that easy. They didn't know they were top. Fluff already playing pretty aggressively, and they will get it done. Nice job.
Ragnarok a little bit out of position, so no Aphotic Shield there to take off the stun. Fogged only level 1, so no Shallow Grave. But I think Shallow Grave's going to be prioritized on this lane.
Yeah, he needs to get it next. Yep, absolutely. And that's just Terrorblade getting caught out of position, them not knowing, essentially, that there was that top lane aggro try coming in. So, amazing stuff coming out already from Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Fog getting harassed a bit. They have that Observer Warder. They had it, and then we'll get counter-warded immediately. So Fog making sure they have that sentry placed down. Ragnarok up here in the top lane. So yeah, the mid matchup between Korok and Ush, I think, is the most important thing. And Korok is getting off to a fast start, but we'll see how that continues onward. And the bottom lane, just a solo matchup between TC and Snaking. So they get that matchup between the Brew and the Tide like you were talking about, but it's in the bottom lane instead of the mid lane.
Yeah, and without, I mean, I think Snaking has a little bit better access to just, like, staying alive. I don't know if they're going to get roamed on. Top lane, because at this point, like, Fogged is not leaving the lane pretty much ever. Ragnarok will just probably be going middle to save Snaking or something. So TC is gonna get a lot out of this lane, I think.
I agree.
And this, I think this Mirana combo is gonna stay up here for a little bit, but eventually we'll see them smoke and maybe try to kill middle or something. It is kind of hard to arrow Enigma though.
It's very difficult. Oh, Arrow coming out without the Nightmare on Excalibur. Grave is available. Whitebeard just showing his stuff right now, just letting loose. Letting the arrow fly. Mid lane, Fluff was looking for the courier, can't find it. Ragnarok runs right in. No Curse of Avernus yet. He still is level 1 with a Aphotic Shield. And, man, what a start to this game early on. Ush is getting harassed, pops the Illusion Rune. And I think there's just going to be a lot of farming early on. I don't see any real aggressive plays coming out unless it's from Nyx Assassins in that top lane.
Yeah, I mean, the only aggression we're going to get, at least in the early parts of this game, is going to be the Bane Potom combo. Like, everything else is dedicated to staying in lanes. IX Mike just wants to get levels. He has his Soul Ring finished up. Ush just wants to get farm and levels. Korok maybe can make some aggressive plays once he gets 6. He's actually making moves on Ush right now. A lot of Eidolon damage is coming out. Is Ush going to go down here?
Bottle charge! What a play!
Barely. Holy crap. crap.
Oh my god, Korok not able to get the
lived,
kill.
He definitely would have gotten that.
Oh, absolutely. The Eidolons go down just a second before he picks up that kill. And Korok's just like, well, I put some aggression up there. I couldn't get the kill, but I still push him back, and I think that's very important. And he actually...
He's already bottle crowing, though, so...
Yeah. This is just, this is Naga. This is a Naga game. Meanwhile, Fluff is rotating around the backside here. And he's got the help of Whitebeard. So they can go for this Nightmare proc here into an arrow. We'll see if Korok gets caught out. He'll bottle crow as well, it looks like. And they're actually going to try to kill this courier, maybe? No.
That's too fast, I think.
Too fast.
Killing this courier now is kind of annoying. You have to be really ready and very, very close to it. Already Arcanes for the Tidehunter, so he's doing just fine bottom lane. Taking a look at the CS, it's very, very even between him and TC. But TC, I mean, he could actually stop for Arcanes himself if he wanted. So that's just preference. When you're not in the mid lane, Arcanes are pretty common.
Middle tower is under attack.
We need to grab these, and Snake King is having a pretty great time. He's actually second in last hits right now, only to Korok in the mid lane, who, you know, we didn't really think that Korok would have that great of a time as an Enigma, considering we didn't know really what his matchup was going to be, but he's having a fantastic time.
Ush is still farming fairly decently, but he only has around 20 CS, so he's definitely a little short of where you really want to be. And a lot of that is just the Eidolon harass is really annoying for him to deal with, because once these start leveling up, they have a little bit more HP than Riptide, and just not being able to one-shot them is enough to make them extreme.
Yeah, that's just enough to really make it annoying, and to deal with is just really frustrating. DD does get popped, however. They do have Riptide ready to go for us. He's actually just farming the jungle. Meanwhile, top lane, they're not really getting levels for Mike here, which is surprising as a Darkshire. This is one thing that you do need, although he is getting secured farm, and they are pretty much shutting down this Terrorblade too.
I think the Bane and the Potom are maybe considering rotating soon, but like you mentioned, Excalibur just has nothing. And, I mean, I think maybe they need to play a bit more up and just use the Aphotic Shield to deal with the stuns. I mean, they have a lot to sort of heal up Excalibur, so they should really just...
Oh, Fog gets clipped. Well, that's not good. But Aphotic coming right out, and they can't get anything done. Fluff takes a huge amount of damage. He does get surged away, and this is the problem in this top lane. Excalibur does pop the Metamorphosis, but they have no kill potential after the surge comes out. They just can't kill anybody. But this is what you were talking about. Play a bit more up. They're fine with that, and they can get some more CS secured here for Excalibur now in the top lane.
Yeah, and moving forward, one thing is that Ush has been able to at least just kind of clear out this camp occasionally. So even though lane has been annoying for him, he's still getting some of that CS that he needs. Of course, it's a little lower value, but well, Fluff and stuff. Are they going to go for a kill here? Yeah, they are. Korok going to eat an arrow. He does have Black Hole, Eidolon, and Stun. Pretty much the full toolkit available. Ragnarok going to come over. He's going to Aphotic Shield up. Korok here is taking a lot of damage. There's a coil, and looks like Korok might be okay here, just barely.
There's no way he can get that hole off on those two heroes, because that song would just come through and...
Yeah, there's also just no reason really to do that. Exactly. It's not like they're going to die.
Yeah. So, at least Ragnarok has rotated through. They secure him, his life, and he stays alive. He heads to the jungle and farms a bit more, and this will give some solo experience to Ragnarok in the mid lane, who's going to try to get to level 3. I mean, he's having a rough time in terms of levels because they've just been sitting in lane top. And this also means that Fog and Excalibur have to be a bit more careful in this top lane. Bottom lane matchup, Snake King going against TC. Clap, Split's gonna go. Snake King has Ravage, but Fluff comes in. There's the brain sap. The boulder toss. Snake King gonna fall. Anchor smash, not gonna do enough. And Fog cannot see in quickly enough to throw up and get that grave. He's getting chased down, but I don't think they go for this kill. And Shadow Wave's gonna go through only on the creep wave. So, nice play from TC. Good rotation from Fluff. Nicely done there.
Interesting. I mean, I think this is kind of just to be expected. Like, when Brewmaster gets level 6, you kind of just die. And that's what happened. He uses it in lane. But, I mean, Brewmaster hitting level 6 is basically like a free team fight win. And they're just going to take a solo kill on Snake King here. And Knoxville pointing out that it's not very common for the Enigma to be middle. And part of that is because when it was popped there was a very long time ago. Like, right when Dota 2 came out, Cinderin used to play Enigma solo middle. It was a really long time ago, and most stats don't really go back that far, but it's certainly extremely unconventional.
Yeah, especially
I mean, and the reason behind that is just because Enigma can get so much out of the jungle that there's almost no point to put him.
I mean, I like the decision here. It's certainly something we don't see too often.
It's working pretty well. I mean, it's dealing with Ush at least a little bit, although Ush now is sort of off to the races. It looks like he's fine. He's got a couple levels now, and he's just going to keep doing his thing. So it's going to be the Naga versus Terrorblade battle, I think.
Radiant structure.
So right now, Naga's
winning.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean he's destroying in CS.
I mean, this is just going to be a tough situation for Excalibur to try to get back into this, especially with just the harassment that they're placing on him in the top lane. However, they did rotate the Bane down, but he's walking back up top as he throws down an Observer Ward in the jungle. And he's also looking for Ragnarok here, who is level 4, so they've given some space to the Abaddon, which is really important. Down bottom, Staking is just farming up. He's gotten the bottle, he's gotten his Arcanes. He's still trying to get towards, I imagine, a Blink Dagger, but that's not going to be easy. Korok will probably pick up a mech here early on. He's got 1,500 gold in the bank. I don't know, really. Maybe he goes for a Blink? I don't know. Korok is the type of player that doesn't usually go for mechs. He usually tries to find Blink Daggers as an initiation. Arrow, Korok! Oh my god, what a ward coming out, spotting out Korok. He is in some trouble. The leap forward, Whitebeard can't get up to the high ground. Korok making more Eidolons. He will back away and stay alive, it looks like. No, maybe not. Still getting chased down. He canceled his movement, now turning around, Malphicing. They have no mana. Nightmare is going to come in. Fog can grave him. He takes the Nightmare away. No, Fog. Oh, no. How unfortunate. And they will smoke right out of that. Korok going down. Very important. Fluff TPing away nicely. He'll make it out to the bottom lane. And really smart play coming out from Sneaky Nick's Assassins there.
My biggest worry thus far in this game is that Ush is just now farming so fast. I mean, this is kind of scary, to be honest. Like, your Terrorblade is not doing very well, but I mean, I think on the one hand, you don't really expect your Terrorblade to do quite as well. He benefits a lot from levels, a lot from items. You know, once he gets like one item, he can kind of just metamorphosis, use those images to kill towers extremely quickly and sort of regain an advantage that way. Because Naga is good at like split pushing and pushing out waves, but she's actually not very good at killing towers.
No.
So.
That's the thing. Meanwhile, Split snaking, dodges an arrow, but he gets caught out. Boulder Toss going through, and they will grab this kill. It looks like a Aphotic gonna keep him alive. Miss Quill as well. Fog not there. Split's gonna be done. Ravage already used snaking. Anchor Smash is a creep, and Snare gonna go. Snaking in trouble. Nice. Nightmare. No, that actually saves him for a moment. He's still alive. Barely. Gush comes through. Arrow not getting let loose. TC falling low. Split's already done. He will fall. They turn it around. It's so tough to kill just with an Abaddon and Anchor Smash. They keep him alive. That's unbelievable.
That was also a very uncharacteristic Nightmare by Fluff. Like, that was definitely... I think that probably kept him alive.
Absolutely.
Normally, if Fluff doesn't really make mistakes like that, but I think that definitely looked at least a little bit like a mistake.
Us try to get involved, but he's still up to 2,500 gold, so he's getting pretty close to the relic.
He's farming crazy. This is scary. He even has the Aquila and Bottle, so... It's not even like he went for like a super greedy build or anything.
No, this is just a bad start for him. TC jumps in. He does have phase now completed, and looks like he might try to get to a Blink Dagger soon after, but Navi US are going to back away, realizing that they have that TP coming in mid, so TP kind of wasted for TC. At least they pushed them off the tower. Mech is going to be done for Korok soon, so I talked about how maybe Korok is more of a Blink carrier, but no, he's going to be going for the mech, unsurprisingly.
You don't have to, but it's... I think it's pretty important to get the mechanism because you have to deal with the Panda. Ravage is obviously really bad against the Panda, and you need something to sort of make sure your teammates don't die in addition to your normal heal kit. So everything they're doing is just dedicated to keeping their team alive. And again, it just comes down to Terrorblade trying to bring this one through in the late game, and we'll see if he can do it. I mean, he has also recovered fairly well here. His rate of CS is picking up. He's down in net worth as they are down in kills right now, so...
The thing is, he's still not close to the Naga, though. Meanwhile, getting caught out. Snaking again. We just saw you here, man. Come on. Ragnarok, he's got to back away. He's like, well, my friend's dead. Time to get out. Can't save him. No Aphotic Shield coming through. He does have borrowed time now. But again, a roaming gang squad comes through. This time, they don't need a waste to split from TC, which is up and ready to go in about 3 seconds. Mike picks up a Midas in the top lane, interestingly enough. And, well, that's a smart choice coming out from Mike, I think, here. They know they're going to go late, and we talk about it all the time, but... This is going to give him a couple of items, and especially more than anything else, levels later on down the road. He's almost level 9 already, so...
that's fine. I mean, it's a little later than maybe you'd like to see, but it still seems pretty good.
Excalibur, he did pop, obviously, his Metamorphosis, but there's the Primal Split coming out. Excalibur gets vacuumed back. Boulder Toss cannot get Grave. Fog not in position for it, and they will lose him as he just popped Metamorphosis. That's on cooldown for some time. Snaking is here. He has Ravage, but he's getting Fiend's Grip now currently. Iron Shell going through, but they will back up TC. No more Primal Split. Korok coming in. Malphite. They will have Ravage to use. Are they going to pop it? That was the question. Surge. Fluff getting Malphite still. Surge is about to fall off. They will chase him down. Brain Sap. Now the Shadow Wave. Shadow Wave coming out. Korok gets arrowed, but there's the Aphotic Shield. Looking for a Black Hole. There's the Ravage. They want Mike. They are going to find him. A 2-for-1 trade. Mech gets popped. Again, it's a 4 versus 5 engagement. All the while, Ush is pushing into the mid lane, trying to find farm. His Relic is actually done if he purchases it now. And he might even get more than that.
Yeah, that was a very good fight, though, for Navi US. Able to keep the Terrorblade. Oh, actually, he died. Never mind. That was not. It was mediocre. Never mind. I thought he lived.
Yeah, well, TC gets caught out top. He backs away. Whitebeard sends an arrow sailing through. Does not connect. Snake King backs up. He's got no Ravage. He's going for a 4-staff. Rather than getting his Blink Dagger, he wants to have more mobility for his team rather than just himself. Whitebeard showing himself here in the mid lane on the top rune spot. Backs away. TC coming in as well. He's got his Blink Dagger ready to go, but no split like we just talked about. Gush coming in. There's the Anchor Smash. Shadow Wave coming through. And there's going to be the Nightmare. They still have Grave for Fogged. Ragnarok is going to maybe throw open a Aphotic Shield in a bit. He will. Arrow sails through. It does connect the Ragnarok. I mean, that's...
nothing's going to come of that, but that's still a little bit awkward there.
It's cute.
Ush is just continuing to farm away. His Relic is done, like you mentioned, and he's halfway to the Radiance. Ush has become quite a player.
Almost level 2 song, by the way.
He's like been good, obviously, but I feel like in recent weeks, you know, when Sneaking Assassins have sort of really started playing extremely well, he's also just, he's been unbelievably good.
It's just the young players, man. They have so much upside. You know, you just talk about it so much. Snake King coming in meanwhile, and they try to get the deny on the tower. No such luck there. But yeah, I mean, you have Excalibur and Ush in the same game, 2 extraordinarily young players. I mean, Snake King as well. I mean, we often forget about how Snake King is like almost, you know, maybe 20.
Artur's age, I think.
Yeah,
maybe a little, maybe 1 year older.
Something. I think he's 1 year older than Arteezy. I'm not sure.
Still really young.
Yeah, but this is. It's a squad of young players, albeit they have great individual skill, and same thing could be said for Ush. Meanwhile, Gush on IX Mike, he's going to try to get this tower. Deny's going to come through. Ragnarok does get it. The Nightmare coming in. And now Snake can continue to chase down Mike. No Ravage. Clap coming in. There's the split. Ragnarok does have his Aphotic Shield and Borrowed Time. Gets cycled up. He Aphotic Snaking as well. Not really taking the damage. Gets vacuumed in. Gush onto Fluff. He wants this kill. Anchor Smash. And he will get the right click. Plus the missed call coming in from Ragnarok. TP out. Great fight for Navi US. They're going to cycle in somebody up in the air. I'm not sure if that was... Yeah, that was just Ragnarok. He's just gonna get back out, so. GC avoids death, but
that basically Snaking is just too tanky for them to really do anything now.
Bottom lane
He's
though.
So much farm. Ush does kill the tower though.
Yeah, but Excalibur took the tier 1 down bottom and is actually putting pressure with his Metamorphosis on the tier 2. Already at half health.
Dude, these illusions are so good.
It's just disgusting, and top lane's getting pressured as well. Blink Clap. They do have Black Hole, but no mana to use it. He's now out of mana currently. Arrow sailing through, only connects on an Eidolon. TC getting low, gets weaved up as well, but they will back away. This is the problem with not having a Soul Ring if you're an Enigma here.
He has a huge HP, or a huge mana pool though. He's just using it quite liberally to make these Eidolons.
Which I guess is fine if they're trying to push. 4-staff, Ravage, Snaking, connecting on Fluff and stuff. Arrow's going to sail through, will connect on Snaking, but there's going to be the Midnight Pulse. Fluff, Brain Sapping, somehow still alive. There's the Gush. They blink forward. Korok getting the kill. Looks like no, Ragnarok getting the last hit. And Snaking will push the tower down with the help of his friends. Meanwhile, Excalibur goes to the opposing jungle. 2 Wraith Bands plus 2k gold in the bank. And all of a sudden, as important as this Naga Radiance is, look at how many towers Navi US are just barreling down.
This is sort of to be expected, like we're mentioning. He did what we were talking about down bottom. He's done it. I think, you know, helped with it in the other lanes as well. And Excalibur can just kill these towers so fast, much faster than Ush can.
Yeah, this is just getting kind of absurd.
Both these heroes are going to be unbelievably farmed because they're both just walking around pretty much uncontested. I mean, Terrorblade has a few early deaths, but to be honest, those are completely expected and sort of just like what you get when you pick Terrorblade. Like, he's gonna die a couple times. At least that's how it seems to be. But he's certainly not doing that bad. I mean, we've seen Eternal Envy start like 0-5 or something and still win. So, I mean, Terrorblade's certainly got a high ceiling.
He can come back, but at the same time, Ush is just gonna farm faster with the Radiance and his illusions.
It's gonna be really close. Like,
you won't be able to get towers, but
Terrorblade farms ridiculously fast.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna get a Yasha. He's gonna get a Manta style.
His Yasha's done on the courier.
Yeah, I mean, he can just kill the towers so fast that it makes up for it in sort of the earlier parts of the game, and then he has so many items that his illusions are just ridiculously good.
All right, well, let's table the Terrorblade Naga discussion. At what point for Nyx Assassins are they in an okay position? Because I feel like Mike needs to get farm right now. He does have his wall level 1. Level 2 wall is going to be huge. At that point, is there a better chance for Nyx Assassins in these fights? Because, I mean, Quark hasn't even used Black Hole yet, too, so that's another thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, Navi US need to figure out a way to take a couple fights
Radiant's
here with
bottom tower is under attack.
the ultimates they have. But the biggest problem is that obviously they have to play around the TC ultimate. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting place for them because with the head start that Ush has, I think he will be able to get a couple big items faster than Terrorblade. So yeah, I mean he is well ahead in net worth, so 4,000 ahead right now.
I really do like the Abad pickup though. It's actually really functioned very effectively for Navi US, and they actually have a Yule Scepter up on him as well. Fogged has had kind of a rough game, but he hasn't died yet, surprisingly enough. All of his teammates have died, but not him.
I mean, he's pretty much just been the resident, the resident shaman is just healing and making sure that people stay alive. So maybe not Fogg's preferred way to play, but
this is a guy that plays a shit ton of Skywrath mage. He wants to kill people, man. He wants to get involved in fights. He wants to run at people, but you can't really do that with a Dazzle. Not that that's a big deal, but
yeah, it's just a different way of playing. But when you pick, some of these heroes, this change in playstyle becomes necessary.
Is this Roche now?
They are going to move into Roche here, but
can we take this?
Looks like the vision's going to be fairly close. They might have seen someone walking right here. Very, very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, they would know that they're not going bottom, I think, or maybe they have a feeling they're going to the ancient. I don't know the way that this
depends how much they're paying attention, but this is the vision line right here, and they're kind of sticking right in the area where
they're going to shoot an arrow. Now they're going to know for sure. Whitebeard is going to hit on Excalibur immediately, and that's a lot of the damage gone, but he gets a Photic Shield. Moonlight Shadow's going to go, and they're going to try to contest this. Oh, Roche cleaving them all down low. And even if they get in the Roche pit, I don't think this is a really great idea. Snaky picks up an Invis rune as well. Now it's time to leave. Snaky realizes walking uphill is not the best idea, but they do take the Aegis and they give it to Excalibur. So that's exactly what they needed. However, Vlad's just get finished up. Excalibur denies the tower down bottom with his Metamorphosis. That's going to be on cooldown for about 80 seconds or so here in just a second. And yeah, he's in a pretty good place.
TC is built of Vlad's, and this has definitely been I think a much more popular item in this patch than any previous on the Brewmaster. We've seen it quite a bit. There is a lot of physical damage kind of hanging around, so not too unexpected. One thing I will be interested to see here is Mike going to pick up a Crimson Guard at any point? Because Terrorblade is one of those heroes that Crimson Guard is like extremely good against. So all the illusions just pretty much do nothing.
It looks like right now he's going for Shiva's or Shiva's point booster. I don't know, man. He's got a lot of different.
He's got a weird. He's got. I think the plate mail is just for the extra armor.
Probably.
Ags, I think, is fairly okay this game. So.
I think either choice is fine.
I mean, it's gonna go. This game is gonna go so late that he bought the Midas. Aghanim seems good because duplicating Terrorblade sounds pretty enticing.
It sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That just seems like you'll just die to a Terrorblade replicate. So, I think right now, Nyx Assassins, I agree with you. Crimson Guard's a very good item here, but they do pick up the Vlads, which give them that extra bit of armor coming out and some extra damage as well. I like that a lot. I mean, this is just a standard Brewmaster item, so no surprise that he picks it up. And Fluff and TC are sitting in the top lane. They're looking for a gank. I mean, Excalibur is pretty high up here, and he does have the Aegis, yes, but I'm not sure. They're just sitting here. Maybe they'll look for Fogged. If they can get that kill, it'll be pretty important. I don't know if they can get both of them, though. They're going to try. Split's going to go in. Fogg gets Fiend Gripped, and he should fall here. Cyclone up in the air. That'll be Excalibur. Ush roams in as well. Sunder not going to get it off. Arrow sailing through, missing, and this could be two. They won't grab Excalibur again. They will back off, and I think that's the smarter play. But they at least waste the Aegis, and they get the kill on Fogg. That's his first death of the game. Nice play there. They will not be able to chase him down. Moonlight Shadow does go. Staking could force and Ravage, but he's not.
The thing is that you have to realize that Fogg's probably happy because it's not the Terrorblade dying, Yeah. Terrorblade now has the Mantis style, but anytime you die instead of the Terrorblade is probably just fine when you're just the lowly Dazzle here. And
the problem is they do the Aegis.
Yeah, I mean the Aegis goes down, which is a little bit annoying, but they're gonna choose to push in here with the Mantis style up, and more importantly, with TC ultimate down, they've got a lot of room. Ravage is a lot better when there's no Brewlings running around.
Exactly.
And they still have Black Hole. We haven't even seen that used. So
there's the Song. They're gonna try to initiate into this with Song. They're gonna try to defend this and fight.
This seems sketchy.
Fog's not here. Wall of Replica is going to go. Vacuum not hitting. There's the Ravage coming through. Mike getting low. Will get blown up. There's the Clap coming through. Not doing much. Snaking. Taking a lot of that damage. Illusions will fall. Excalibur getting mech'd up. Doesn't want to walk through the wall again. They have to keep killing these Illusions because they keep walking through the damn wall. Stop it. Ragnarok. Don't do that, buddy. Nightmare's coming in. Snaking. Might get arrow. No. Aphotic shielded off. Arrow sails through. Does hit on Excalibur, but gets miscoiled. They won't deny the tower. Snaking. No Ravage left. Tier 2 successfully taken. A lot of footsie being played, but only one death going through it, and that is going to be Mike falling. So, nice fight.
Huh. This seems like that seemed like kind of a waste of a song, to be honest. I mean, what do they expect to happen there? They have no Brewmaster splits, so Ravage is just going to like destroy them. I don't know what they expected to happen there. I guess they just felt obligated to defend their tower.
They wanted a good wall and a vacuum. Korok blinked away so he didn't get caught in it, and even once they did get wall and vacuum, I mean, they just banked up and they were fine. So, Korok also has 3,000 gold. What is he buying here? BKB, maybe?
BKB?
Sounds pretty good.
BKB seems pretty good. I mean, there's nothing that stops Black Holes, so I guess that.
Korok taking a lot of damage to the Radiance Burn. Ush is just going to continue to farm up. He's just sitting in the jungle. His Manta Style is now done, by the way. This is probably where it gets a bit more difficult for Navios because you have to deal with Manta Illusions, your Mirror Images, Radiance Burn, and a little bit of damage coming out as well. Once it gets a heart, it becomes very difficult for Navios to deal with. They want to try to delay that heart as much as possible, and I think that's very important for Navios here in the next couple of minutes.
IX Mike still has not really looks like he's committed. Oh, he is committed for the Shivas. He has a recipe on the quarter, so that's gonna be the first choice for him. Helps clear out the illusions. It's pretty good against Terrorblade, but Jesus, they are getting Terrorbladed.
They really are. And they lose the tier 2 tower because of it. Mike gets there a bit too late. TC comes in, claps down the illusions, but Excalibur's like, yeah, man, I'll just keep taking these towers, not even a problem. Fluff is still top, by the way, in the trees. They've had this same ganking position a couple of times here, and he somehow gets in without a blink dagger. I don't know, he just walks in somehow and makes it in there scot-free. And I don't think he can get a kill on his own, but maybe he'll try. He does have a TP scroll, he might just use it. He's just keeping an eye right now on Excalibur and the rest of the squad. Meanwhile, mid lane, Korok throws down the Midnight Pulse. He has an ultimate orb, so...
Hexarino it is. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Seems like that's a good choice here. Could theoretically be a Lincoln Sphere. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it could be a Lincoln's, but... I mean, I guess... Oh, actually, there is Fiend's Grip, so I'm completely wrong. There is something that goes for BKB.
Korok
maybe it is Lincoln's. Who knows?
Yeah,
I neglected to see that there is a Bane on.
I'm not trying to say like I told you so or anything. You know, we haven't even seen it come out yet. Just
no, I know. Well, I'm mostly just correcting the fact that I fucked up.
It's okay. You gurged it. It's fine. Excalibur, he's gurging it right now. He's pushing out top. He's farming the jungle. He's got his Manta Style. He's going Sky next because guess what? He's a Terrorblade and there's pretty much only one build you go for. Although he doesn't have Drum, which you usually see before any of these items are picked up besides Tread. So. Yeah, I mean, this is now Excalibur's second in net worth. Obviously, Ush is going to be leading by quite a wide margin, but the fact that he's caught up this much is very impressive. Ush is now sitting at 2.6k, 2.7k, Manta, Radiance, bots, and he's feeling pretty comfortable with himself.
Yeah, and this game is sort of what we expected. I mean, not a lot of action, a whole lot of farming, a lot of really farmed heroes here. And the one thing is that, you know, Ush is ahead, but on the other side for Navi US, they have a much more balanced farm across, and as a result, net worth is like at 0 right now.
Yeah, I was just looking. You know,
it's really close at this point. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, I'd like to see Korok get a bit more involved here. He's almost level 16, and I don't think we've seen Black Hole. So I mean, Black Hole is not all that Enigma offers. Obviously, he can get the mech. His pushing is pretty good with the Eidolons, but Black Hole is certainly not an item that you're just like, yeah, we'll use it eventually. Or a skill rather. It's amazing.
We'll get it involved. We'll work it into our
gameplay
somehow. There goes TC getting caught up. Do they have the damage though? And Malphite might come out as well. Can't get the split off. He does get it off just barely. No damage coming through. Korok cannot blink further here
Dire's
to get this kill. How depressing. Meanwhile, Excalibur, Fiend's Grip, there's the Ravage. He will get out. No mana to Sunder, however. Back in on staking. He gets arrowed as well, but if he dies, he's totally okay with it. He will walk away currently. And there's the Nightmare coming in. Another arrow might sail through in just a second. Whitebeard has it in 5. Starstorm, staking. One more right click. Oh, he's not gonna fall. He does go down. Oh my god, that took a lot. Meanwhile, they're chasing down Korok mid lane. Ush pops the Mantis style. Korok getting chased down, but should be okay. A lot used there. Ag's now done. Black Hole was used, and Ravage, Wall, everything. And really the only thing that comes of it is Snaking dies, and that's it.
Yeah, and again, just look at how farm these zeros are, man. Jesus, 28 minutes, Hex on Enigma.
Yeah, this is
God.
Ush now has his Reaper too, so I mean, like, this is getting. It's 30 minutes almost having a heart for a Naga Siren plus Manta, bots, and a Radiance. And not to mention the Aquila and Coin Blade. But this is going to be quite the end of the game, I think. And we're not even really close to it. You talked about how long this game is going.
This game's going. They're going the distance. Better settle in.
I don't even know why I'm looking at buyback status. That doesn't even matter at this point. Like, what? Really, all that matters is Roshan right now and keeping your lanes pushed out. Ush can literally just send his illusions to each lane and just have it push in. And you could have the same thing happen for Terrorblade, and is happening for Excalibur.
Ush
but
is so farmed. He was almost 20k net worth.
Oh, he's like 8k up on everybody else. So yeah, he's feeling pretty comfortable.
Oh dear
Lord. Is that a heart done? That's a full heart done, by the way. Less than 30 minutes in. Ush is just like, yeah, you know, I like to hit creeps occasionally.
Like, yeah, I'm farming pretty well. I got 350 CS.
That's just ridiculous, actually. He is 150 CS higher than a Terrorblade. A freaky Terrorblade, man.
Oh my god. This is gonna be interesting. I mean, despite the huge difference here, Navi US can still fight pretty well just because of hero composition, and this game is just.
You can only hope that every game is gonna be like this one, except maybe just not as long.
Except without the Terrorblade and without the Naga.
Exactly. Well, I mean, to be fair though, it's still very interesting. It's quite a good game. 7-6, so not the highest kill totals I've ever seen.
Just a lot of. I mean, there's just a lot of strategic moving going on, and a lot of, you know, a lot of farming patterns. And beyond Ush, Navi US definitely has a much more farming going on. If you just, you know, if you just ignored Ush, there's just everyone is farming extremely well. Like the supports are much more farmed. I mean, Mirana has 4.5k.
She just got an
5k.
That was Whitebeard's first item.
Up to almost 9.
Yeah, I mean, Whitebeard just got his first orchid, his first item, which is an orchid, which is very interesting, and I think that's really good up against the Terrorblade, and even against a lot of the heroes, but specifically against the Terrorblade, so he can't sunder, can't continue to create illusions. But you could just Manta out of that, though. That's the problem. You could just Manta out of the Orchid. Same thing. It's also good against the Enigma.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I don't know. I don't really know if that's the best item choice. I guess you could have transitioned more into right-click. Tier 2 tower does fall, and I mean, Excalibur is taking Roshan, but at the cost of a Tier 3, this is not worth it. They need to get somebody back up here to this top lane. Glyph's going to go Snaking, has no TP scroll.
Proc's going to go back, drop Midnight Pulse down, and push him out a little bit.
Ush could stay here for a while, though. I mean, these are now hard illusions, so even with Midnight Pulse, it is pushing them back pretty quickly, and Ush is going to TP down bottom. Meanwhile, fight breaking out, Excalibur trying to right-click down Whitebeard. He's getting low. TC with the split. He can't get the Sunder off. The Shallow Grave getting there just in time. He can Sunder a support if he needs to, and will. And now they're going to try to fight Fluff. Ravage is going to go, but the Fiend's Grip already went. TC, now he's done. They will clap down Excalibur. He gets caught out. Korok gets silenced up as well. There's the wall. This is Sna's fight now. They will have Black Hole as soon as he gets the silence up, but can't get it in time. Korok has to back away. No, the hole coming in. But where's the damage? There's the split or the clap from TC. They're blowing everybody from Navi US up. Erewhon Fog, boom. They get him a 5-man wipe. And now Roshan goes to Nyx, and the Aegis as well to Ush. What a fight coming through from Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Damn.
Whitebeard, oh my, I don't even know how
Midnight Pulse or something?
That was an insane fight, though. I mean, the biggest problem, that was even really well played by the Terrorblade there. Knows that he is much more important than the Abaddon. So he goes ahead and sunders, but still not enough to make him live through the fight. Really crucial Orchid from Whitebeard as well, Orchiding up the Enigma, rather.
Oh my god, look at the graph, dude. Just look at that.
I mean, yeah.
That's it. 6.82, boys.
Dire's top tower is
that was a
under
huge
attack.
fight. So many of these heroes are ridiculously farmed, and now Next Assassins, I mean, would have loved to maybe force out a buyback or something, but nothing like that happening with them taking Roche instead, and they're probably just as happy with that.
I mean, I don't think you're
like
unhappy
running out of
with it.
slots though.
Yeah, the Aegis is going to take a slot. He had to sell the Coin Blade or just drop it. He has an
He
Aquila.
can drop the Aquila and get a Diffusal.
Yeah, I think that's probably his next item choice. And once you have the Diffusal, then you just get maybe like a Butterfly afterwards, and
I
that's
think
it.
that's kind of your... Diffusal is amazing on Naga, just because you honestly don't have that much damage. Even with all these items, he only has like 200 damage. So
you get the Diffusal, and then you're
gives
just
you a
right-clicking.
lot.
Yeah, you're just right-clicking for crazy amounts of damage, and Ush is going to get there pretty... He has 4.4k gold in the bank. He could buy one now if he wanted to. So, I mean, this is quite the game for Ush. He's by far and away the leading net worth, almost by 10k, which is absurd when you think about it. A lot of that has to do with him farming, but also the fight. They have a 12k net worth lead.
He got a lot out of that fight.
It's not like he had, you know, little before that. It's actually just ridiculous. He sells up the Aquila, purchases up a straight up Butterflies. The courier is getting sent to the secret shop. So Butterfly first, bosses to the top lane, and he'll try to pressure this lane real quick and get towards that Eagle Song and finish up his Butterfly. So.
And continuing onwards here, TC, he has purchased an Aghanims. I think he's had that for quite a bit.
Yeah, he has.
Scotty done for Terrorblade, so that's a pretty big item. Gives him a lot of HP. Obviously, the slow is pretty nice. They also have a Rod of Atos on Snake King, so a lot of slows here.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think Scotty's a hugely important item in this game, specifically against the Naga Siren, but the problem is illusions aren't going to care about that unless you're right-clicking all of them. And he's really tanky anyways, so Ush is just going to be like, well, that's fine. And he also has the Butterfly too now, so Ush is just... He's going to have a field day, I think, and with Aegis, I think they need to push up to the high ground. Honestly, we thought this game might go longer, but if they take one more
Ush
fight...
has just gotten so much farm that this game's not going much longer.
Yeah, Excalibur now getting chased down.
Probably
Vacuum, Manta's out. Meanwhile, there's going to be the dust coming through. Excalibur, there's the wall on the ground. Split coming in. Ravage coming from Snaking. Excalibur getting low. Sunder's up. Will grab the kill on Darks here, but Excalibur is going to fall here. And that'll be TC getting a dominating spree. Snaking in trouble. And Seraph Ush going to work, ladies and gentlemen. And he's going to go ham. He's looking for more. Song of the Siren going to go yet again fogged. Well, he's about to die. No.
Dire's bottom
He
tower
goes
is
down,
under attack.
3 dead all day. Now the US, they lose not that much in terms of gold in that exchange,
Dire's
but
bottom tower
they're going to
has
lose a lot of
fallen.
heroes. Buyback status, who's got it on Dire's side? Snaking and the Abaddon, no Terrorblade. Abaddon's still alive,
Dire's
so
bottom tower
just the
is
one
under
hero,
attack.
and Ush is going to work on this Rax, and this might be the beginning of the end for game number 1, my friend.
Yeah, Ush is beyond farmed at this point, and
Dire's bottom
it's so
barracks are
early
under
that you
attack.
don't want him to be this farmed this early, but he's 3-0-4. He's done whatever he's wanted this entire game.
Korok has been...
barracks
As
has
farmed as
fallen.
Korok has been in this
Korok's
game...
been pretty
Dire's bottom
ineffective.
barracks
Yeah,
are
I don't know
under
really what
attack.
he's done. He's gotten 1 or 2
Dire's
black holes
bottom
off that really haven't
barracks
done
is
much in terms of the fight. And a lot of it has to do with them just being behind by the time they use the black hole. So I feel like they just didn't get enough done early on in the game. Not that the game is over yet, again, but with the lead that...
It's in bad shape.
Yes, absolutely. So...
You might even say it's in dire straits.
Nice! That's a good one, man. But you didn't say it the way you're supposed to say it. You know how you need to say it.
I'm casual about the fun.
You really are. You
I
really
don't
are
force them
casual.
like you, man.
I love forcing them though. That's the most fun part about it, because then everyone's just like, you suck. You'll say it's really looking dire for the Radiant team or something like that, and everyone's just like, just shut up, dude. That's the best part about it. Anyways, 37 minutes.
I mean, honestly, going back to this Enigma pick, like, if they knew that Korok was going middle, I would have rather they just pick a normal mid hero. I mean, I don't know what this Enigma really brings to the table for you, especially with the Naga net, with you know, Fiend's Grip. What does this really do for you?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I think the idea might have been it controls the Brewmaster, so he can't split. But
That
you also,
work out.
yeah, that's just A, that didn't work. B, you could have gotten an Orchid hero. I mean, that forces him to buy a BKB, but
Like a Queen of Pain?
everyone on Nyx Assassins has done whatever they wanted this entire game. I mean, Mike has a Midas and an Aghanim Scepter and a Shiva's. Ush is beyond farmed. The freaking 5th position Mirana has an Orchid and almost a Diffusal Blade. Like, everyone on Nyx is just doing whatever they want. And, you know, I'm not sure they got enough out of the Terrorblade for that to be okay.
Well, they definitely didn't. And
I mean, they definitely didn't. He's 1-4-1. He's pretty much done.
That's the problem with picking this hero. He's really good at split pushing and creating space and maybe taking down towers early on.
You can, like, forfeit your other lanes, though, to have the Terrorblade.
I agree with you completely.
Unless you're, like, NB. Maybe you can.
Well, Excalibur's going to get caught. The Hex is going to go on Ush. He actually doesn't have his Aegis anymore. He's getting Scottied. Moonlight Shadow's going to go. There's the Black Hole as well. Ush actually might fall. That is going to be a lot of gold for somebody. Fog does pick it up. He's got 2,000 gold in the bank now. And they got 1,900 gold out of that exchange. And they get the kill on the Bane, which drops the gem. Now 2 gems, 1 for each eye in Ragnarok. And, well, I mean, that's just a mistake for Ush. I think you need a lot more than that, but that's certainly a good start.
Seems like he was still a little caught by surprise there.
It's like
did not expect the entire team to be there.
Yeah, I don't. Why are they here? This is not what I expected.
I can just imagine what he said after that happened. It's like, really?
He's like,
really?
Shit, guys.
And
sorry,
he has gone for a Diffusal Butterfly, like you mentioned. So, I mean, he's 6 slotted now. Like, at this point, you're just farming. You're farming buyback gold.
There's no reason for him to be that aggressive. He's just like, look at how much damage I have. Look at how many items I have. And then he just got killed by the entire team. TC getting Scotty down a little bit by some illusions, but he's fine for the most part. Staking was able to pick up a Shiva's Guard off the back end of that engagement. And he'll push down to the mid lane. Bottom lane's getting pressured as they are missing a set of racks. Ragnarok's like, I don't really want to have to use borrowed time for a bunch of creeps, but he will. I mean, it's just going to happen anyway, so pretty short cooldown though, not the biggest deal. And I think right now, if you're Nyx Assassins, you just wait for the next Roshan, but you probably can't give Aegis to Ush because he's freaking 6 slotted, so.
I mean, I think in theory Ush will never die again though. Like he walked into 5 heroes and died that time, but it was still fairly close. Like he got a stun off, he would have gotten out of there.
Yeah, they had a black hole to get the kill. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think in theory he's not really gonna die. I think you look at putting it on TC and Mike. Those are your decent options. And
I'd say, well, if TC doesn't get a split off, then definitely him. But I think you're gonna get that all first life anyway. So. Maybe Mike, but then again, it also comes down to your ultimate as well. So maybe, I don't know. I guess TC's probably a good choice. He can right-click even. He has his Sulcross as well. Meanwhile, Shiva's Guard is going to go. TC throws in the Drunken Haze. Ush is ready to go up to the high ground.
Look at this. They just can't kill these illusions, though.
Yeah, they're actually just going to the... They're just going to kill this tier 3 tower. Arrow misses. It does hit up the illusion for Excalibur. But yeah, the illusions are doing some work here. They actually put a little bit of chip damage on the melee racks. And that's probably the most annoying thing in the world. Because with the butterfly, obviously, with the heart, now there's a refresh orb on Mike. Which, by the way, he's got an Ags, so it already does a ton of damage to the first wall. Second wall is going to be even more disgusting. Oh, God.
Well, if we see the double wall team fight, I expect that this game will probably be over. 2 Terrorblades sound like too much for them to deal with.
Here's the split. They force it out. Moonlight Shadow's going to go as well. What can they get done with this? Ush might go up to the high ground. Yeah, they're just going to go straight for the racks. The illusion's doing some work on it right now. Staking getting low here, taking a lot of that damage. Korok getting caught out as well. There's the ensnare. He does have Black Hole. No, down for 25 seconds. Vacuum wall. Huge one. But they will get the Ravage off. Staking still alive. Korok. And they will pop the grave. They're going to Sog and reset the fight immediately. Mike has another vacuum coming in. And he uses it a bit too early there. But it doesn't matter. Korok about to fall here. TC getting pushed back. Excalibur Metamorphosis is doing work. There is the Fiend's Grip coming out from Fluff. He's in trouble. Gotta help him out. No, you're dead, my friend. He'll go down. Buys back immediately. Rax is about to fall. Will be a second set here. They cannot walk through that.
He can't. Yeah, he'll make 2 illusions if he walks through there.
That's not the best idea. Fog takes so much damage just from the illusions alone. Ragnarok about to fall as well. Terrorblade walks through Excalibur. You're killing your own team. Stop team killing, my friend. Fog now backing away. Shiva's Guard. Ush gets the kill with the Radiance Burn. Excalibur getting chased down. And the range racks still stand somehow at the end of everything, so what a fight. Yeah,
I mean, the range rack's still alive, but now they have 2 opposite lanes pushing in. This is now just really, really hard. I mean, at this point, oh my god. Is Mike even gonna die?
I don't think. He is vacuum in 1 second. He's actually alive. Malphite's. He's gonna die. And the gem is on the ground. Well, he actually paid his
now look at, like, these creeps are just going to town on this tier 4. Look at this.
Yeah, that tier 4 is actually just gonna die in another creep wave. Snake can keep his back in. And the siege creep, guys. You guys gotta focus down the siege creep. Well, they're gonna get to it eventually. And Steven does finally finish up his BKB, but as that happens, there's a defusal now, not on one hero, but on two, as Whitebeard picks one up for himself. And Ush has his second Fusel Blade done. He's got 2,000 gold in the bank. It is now time to just save for as much money as possible if you are Ush. Eventually, if the game goes awry, you can go for that refresher. You can go for other items. Have a little bit of a closet, a wardrobe, if you will, for Ush. But for now, it's just it's Roche. So
yeah, and looking back at these fights here, when you have supports that are good at keeping your carry alive, they're generally really bad at base defense, and that definitely showed in the last fight. I mean, they don't have like an Earthshaker or something like that to just hold everyone out of their base to win fights when someone tries the high ground. Like Weave does not do that for you, and neither does Abbott. That's for sure. Oh god, the cheese is still in the pit.
No. Wiper's going to pick it up quickly. CC has split. He's also got clapped. Excalibur gets blown up. Manta's out. He does have Metamorphosis now. Sunder is ready and available. He might even use it on Fog. And it looks like he might get brought down. There's the Grave. Nicely done. He does Sunder. I'm not sure who he Sundered there, but Excalibur getting low. He is getting chased down. He is going to fall. Ragnarok pops the ultimate here. Fiend's Grip on Fog, however, he's getting caught out. Fluff on the backside. Snaking, looking for a Ravage. We'll have to pop it. And finally, Fog will call GG. That is enough. They've taken a beating here for Navi US. And sneaky Nyx Assassins, probably the underdog in this series. They will take game number 1. Again, best of 5 series, but Greg, what a hot start for Ush and Snom.
Yeah, I think we're going to see maybe some, I don't know. It's really hard to ban against Ush because he has a couple heroes and a couple extremely different play styles that are really hard to deal with. But that Naga, either they're going to have to pick supports that can gank it or ban it, because that did not work.
It really didn't.
I mean, they were hoping to be ahead at that point when it was, past 40 minutes, but against the free farming Naga, I guess it's just impossible.
744 GPM for Ush. He got off to a fast start.
Last hits. That's pretty good.
And he really just, he started fast, didn't slow down the entire game. Nyx Assassins take game 1 on the back end of him. We'll take a break, guys. We'll jump into game 2 in just a second. Again, my name is Mont. With me is What Is Hip. Again, this is the Dota 2 Canada Cup Grand Finals. Check it out at twitch.tv/Dota2 Canada Cup. Make sure you follow us there as well. It's been an absolute pleasure casting for you. We'll be right back, everybody.